Welcome back, everybody, to Ace Combat 7. You didn't just wake up 2 hours ago. You can't prove anything. Really now? Oh, I guess I can't. Um, yeah, welcome back to the world of Strange Reel. For part 2 of the A7 aircraft showcase. Today we are going to do the remaining American aircraft, starting with the F-15E Strike Eagle and ending with the YF-23 Black Widow. Also, thank you, Sly, for contributing to the Scarface challenge. It is now at 50%. You are halfway there to getting the A6 Scarface challenge. So congratulations. You've got about, I know it says 15 days left or 16 days left. It's actually a little bit more because I don't stream Sundays and I am not counting Tuesday's stream because that was so short. You go now to lurk. Oh. Thank you for the lyrics, Cry. Yeah. So for the first aircraft, we're gonna go ahead and do. We're gonna extend that challenge indefinitely. I'm making it 30 streams instead of 30. Although if I might say that if you make it like over 95% of the way done by my count of 30 streams, I might just go ahead and give it, because I'm not gonna lie, doing a Scarface challenge is actually kind of I'm interested in doing it myself. You're not doing that for Phasma. But we're gonna go ahead and do an unexpected visitor for the Strike Eagle, and I'm skipping the briefings and stuff because we got a lot of aircraft to do. I gotta keep this ball rolling. So, I'm sure this aircraft is familiar to all of you since you saw it pretty much exclusively yesterday. Yeah, the F-15E Strike Eagle. The Strike Eagle can't stay for the moment. Oh, yeah. Well, thank you for the lurk, Sly. Yeah, the F-15E Strike Eagle was manufactured by McDonnell Douglas, although now it is been bought out by Boeing. Its first flight was in 1986, and it entered service for the United States Air Force in 1989. It is still serving, and the primary operators for the Strike Eagle are obviously the United States Air Force, the Israeli Air Force, Saudi Arabia, and South Korea. If we look on the stats, we've got above average speed, average mobility, and slightly above average stability, although both of those can be tuned. It's got very good air-to-air capabilities, and I think the stat bar is wrong on this. According to the stat bar, it only has slightly subpar air-to-ground capabilities, but it's equipped with the SFFS, which, in my opinion, should rank it higher, but I didn't make the stat chart. It's also a tanky boyo. We've got about just at average defense, which for a multi-role is pretty good. According to the thing here, it's a vastly improved version of the double-seater F-15 bomber. Nicknamed the Strike Eagle, this durable aircraft combines fundamental air combat capabilities with more weaponry than a standard fighter. It is armed with 114 AIM-9C Sidewinders as its standard missile. It also comes equipped with let's go ahead and I need to take off a part here real quick. That was the wrong part. It comes with 42 standard, a standard complement of 42 6 AAMs, 6 target air-to-air missiles that can lock up onto 6 targets. Though effective against multiple targets, they have trouble hitting highly mobile ones. And the real-world model for this is the AIM-120 AMRAAM. You're going to be seeing this one a lot. It also comes with 30 CBU-87s. Excuse me. Which is the model for the self-forging fragment submunitions. Hello, Vinny. How's it going? Welcome to the stream. These unguided bombs release multiple smaller bombs after a certain time has passed. Accordingly, the altitude that they are dropped at affects their spread. So these are cluster bombs, and they are the best bomb in the base game without having to pay for DLC. And the Strike Eagle gets 30 of them. And then it gets 20 charges of the tactical laser system. And it's doing good. Doing good. This is an anti-surface and anti-air spec laser capable of firing continuously. Its speed means that if fired accurately, it cannot be evaded. That's a bit of a lie because of the immensely nerfed damage over time stat compared to previous incarnations. This particular model has no canon name. But it does appear to be a modified version of the Morgans, and the Morgans was called Zoisite. So, for lack of a better term, I'm going to call this a modified Zoisite TLS. But for this, we're going with the AMRAAMs. The Strike Eagle has only one special skin, and then it's got the base Aruja, or not Aruja, but the base Osea. Rather boring. A more foresty looking Erusian. A desert looking SP skin, which I think the Israelis use this one the most. And then you got your standard trigger skins. And then, of course, the Talisman skin. We're going to go with the Talisman skin because, I mean, that's who I am. And we're going to go ahead and play the largest furball that the game has for us. Unexpected visitor. So for those that just dropped in, the Ace Combat 6 Scarface Challenge is at 50%. If you would want to contribute to that, go right ahead. Thank you, Nicola.
Set off as soon as we're ready.
Ba-bam.
Here we go. Do it with a bang. Understood. Shit. What's up? Friendly aircraft and
And I'm sure all of you might be a little sick of seeing this aircraft. You have missed the description that I gave for the F-15, and that's about it. This is the first mission.
already in range.
There we go.
All aircraft engage. Weapons free.
But no, the Strike Eagle is one of my favorite aircraft in Ace Combat. I'll admit, Ace 6 had a lot to do with that. But this is an extremely versatile aircraft. You can basically take this in almost any game of the series and expect to do well. Especially in 7 and in 6 and 7. Yep. Kaboom! Now it does suffer a little bit in mobility compared to the Charlie Eagle, but that's because the Strike Eagle has been more optimized for ground attack. But it still is a very capable dogfighter and can hold its own against pretty much every single opponent that it could conceivably go up against, including flankers.
Well, he doesn't talk much, but fine. Here I go.
Kaboom! In game and real life, yes, both. Actually, used in Mission 13. Mission 13 is I'm using for aircraft that basically their only strength is speed. The Strike Eagle brings so much more to the table. Oh, no, that's fine. Mission 12? That, yeah, I could see that one. But I just normally use the Strike Eagle in... I have one or two aircraft that I normally use for this mission, and the Strike Eagle is one of them. Mistype, hey, that happens to everybody, don't worry about it. No, the Strike Eagle would be good for Stonehenge, but it also has pretty good, very good air combat capabilities, and it's few that can carry enough ammo to survive or endure through the entire first phase of Unexpected Visitor. Hello, Star Crater. But don't worry, I do plan to have SFFS's in Stonehenge. Because there's another aircraft that has them. That is for another day. Alright, good. We got a few of those. Alright, time to kill some Harriers.
I don't even have time for a snack on this operation.
Just wait, I'll get you a break in a second.
Thanks.
Autocorrect. The bane of everyone's existence.
Special delivery. Barrier destroyed. Nice work. Those fighters are after the fleet. Take care of the rest.
You ain't no match for me.
Another enemy aircraft approaching our ship. Returning to base. Don't forget to tell the mechanics he seems to have a problem every time Priest Trick shows up. Protect the landing ship at all costs. Shield it with your life. So, is this the meeting place for pilots or flight by UAV?
I love the 6 a.m. So much better than the 8 a.m. Granted, you can't lock onto as many targets, but you're guaranteed to not have a double lock. So on average, you can lock up onto more.
Jamming. They brought EW aircraft. I'm displaying the jammed area on your radars. The rings are thinning. At last, the light at the end of the tunnel. Continue with your mission.
Alright, we made it past the threshold.
Landing ship is to be considered hostile. Set it as your target. Roger. Primary target the hostile landing ship Puffin. Our target is the captain of the Puffin, Robin Airy.
Captain.
You don't see it. Gunway is about killing the people on board.
Yeah, double lock is a pain in the butt. I know the ADMM does it, but typically the ADMM is a little bit more manageable because it feels like it prioritizes more this to lock onto new targets, and its target locks arc is much bigger than the 8 AAM. So there's more targets on screen that it can lock onto. Hello, raccoon.
Be advised, enemy strike fighters are on the approach. They're fullbacks, definitely faster than the ones before. Serious threat.
Righto. Trigger. Get this done quick.
Alright, flanker, or fullbacks are here. Gotta go after the thick boys. Oh wow, they're motoring.
Why the hell was it not in action all this time? Mark, intercepting. Seaways failed. Incoming.
The landing ship is under attack. Keep the enemy away from our ships.
Report! We can't cross the free staff. All personnel, abandon ship.
Look, another destroyer's been sunk.
That's it. Trigger splash the fighter. I'll show you the copy.
Yeah.
This one's mine.
Took too long trying to kill the other growler. I didn't see these guys spawn until it was too late.
Got a visual on the target submarine. Trigger has knocked out a target. We're not fighting UAVs. It's just as hard on them as it is on us.
Eh.
Port-side hit. Damage control.
This is bad. The damage is spreading.
I see 3 strikes.
I'll kill you.
All aircraft be advised. 2 bogies on the approach. Aircraft type, Su-47. Birkins. Marusha doesn't have many of those. Where'd they come from?
Alright, let's hang around Enchanter here.
Use the confusion to kill the 6. Like a true villain, huh? I like the way you think.
I'm seeing on my tail. Taking fire.
The bogey shot down an Arusian bird.
What do you mean?
Come and get me.
No more reinforcements. They must be hostile. You are clear to engage.
Ha! There we go.
Kill me, dude! The bastard hit me!
Oh, Enchanter's so OP.
God damn it! Strikes, I will have you. You will die!
I see three sides. Nope, you just see the blue chicken.
Hey, those filthy fats are on the run. Let them go.
Now you see the 3 stars.
That's nothing to worry about now. Focus on the mission at hand.
Can you hear me? Pilot with the 3 stars. Boo, I launched that when it was under Enchanter. Huh? Make you dance with the angels. Nice. Get him, Scream. Boom. I'll kill you. But yeah, that's my go-to thing whenever they come up and like, where's the nearest enchanter? Head that way.
Additional hostiles confirmed. We're detecting surface-to-ship weapons teams around the sub. Eliminate them. Receiving support from ESM.
They're not retreating. Submarine must mean the world to them. Target destroyed.
Hit. Yep. There we go. There we go. Alright, now for the fullbacks. We gotta kill these guys quick.
This takes away the enemy's surface-to-ship capabilities. Fine work, Trigger.
Luckily there's only 3 and I can fire 6 AMRAAMs. So what I just gotta do is get on there 6 o'clock.
3 minutes remaining.
And double tap. And there they go.
Captain, they're ready for takeoff, sir. They're prepared to sacrifice their lives to carry the cargo. Captain, don't you see? Lives are about to be snuffed out in senseless cruelty. How many must be sacrificed to put them to rest? Captain, Johnny Spring strikes in his current.
Yeah, of all the Eagle models, it's a tie for me between the Charlie Eagle and the Strike Eagle. I love them both. Together they are my favorite real-life aircraft of all time. Most advanced version is the worst. Strike Eagle is not the worst. It has 6 AMs, cluster bombs, and a laser. Oh, that. Fair enough. Although it's not even in this game, so I can't compare it. But the STMD was actually meant to be a demonstrator. It was never meant for combat. In fact, its sole operator, I think, was NASA, not the USAF. So it was unarmed. That's the thing though, Vinny, it was never given a chance. So combat-wise speaking, compared to the Strike Eagle, the STMD is the worst. Because it never had a chance to have a record of its own. It's like how the most advanced MiG, the 1.44, is one of the worst MiGs when you look at its record because it never served. Never got the chance to. So we can't honestly tell how good it would be. Same with another version of the Eagle that I really like, the Silent Eagle. Yeah, it is a pity, but that's what happens with demonstrators. Usually they demonstrate these cool new technologies and then it's like, well, we can't afford it, or it's too inefficient,
Buffett, this is Lancaster. Enemy's resistance is dwindling and we've almost
or
priority.
Passing copy. Commencing capture operation.
it
The rest is all yours, Captain.
or the Air Force or Navy or what have you wants to go a different way, so it ends up getting canceled.
Finger food can get in the way of my duties.
It clearly wasn't what she meant.
It's like concept cars.
Took longer than I expected.
The concept car is really cool and flashy, and then the production model is kind of like
Well done, pilot.
meh.
Then slow ahead both engines.
Are you sure? Commanding ship Puffin to all active units. Enemy submarine has started moving.
Commence firing. Main gun, commence fire.
Bearing 180.
Yeah, the C and E are I mean, look at this, the clean and sharp lines on the Strike Eagle.
Landing ship's on fire.
Livery aside, because I know the Talisman livery is kind of plain, but Alicorn fired on her.
Listen up. You need to take that bird down. Hurry.
Yeah, concept is basic showcase. It's a proof of concept, and then the production model makes it more efficient.
Gotta help our ship first.
No one cares about the Puffin. The clean Strigel is better.
Fill all ballast tanks. Full speed ahead once we're underway.
Trigger's caught up to them.
Scrap them, Trigger.
Enemy submarine is going under.
Gotta make sure I don't overtake him.
Monster will roam the oceans. Eat my words. 3,000 meters until the aircraft exits the AO. Hand it down.
A Strigan Strigel. Kaboom! Gotcha, bitch!
Insane, even across the radio.
Target's destruction confirmed.
There it is. Ah.
By 3 strikes.
Gotta get that script done with. Yeah, I know.
Captain, don't you see? He walked all over it with his dirty boots, over the crisp white sheets of my bed that I had just made.
Unexpected Visitor is a fun mission. I really love this mission. And the Strigel is one of my favorite aircraft to use in this mission. The other ones are the Su-35S, the Shinden, and the Nosferatu. Oh yeah, no. The DLC are some of the funnest missions in Ace Combat. I can't deny that. Even taking out the horrible Phase 1 of TMRP and the bullshit Mimic fight at the end. Funnest is a word. I'm making it a word.
The operation has been completed. Stand by for further orders. Hold on. We still don't know.
A rank, I'll take it. Alright, now for the next aircraft on the list. We're going back to the base missions. Mimic fight equals bullshit. EML, am I ejecting? I am getting better with that, but I am still not extremely comfortable with it. So I still hate the mission, or that boss fight. I love the mission, hate the boss fight. Anyway, moving on. We're going to go ahead and head to 444. 4, it's just Liberation of Grace Mary with that Shamrock. Sly, do you know how much I rely on Shamrock
All right, guys. I'll let you in.
for
on
Pastor Bastard? He is my guide dog.
the International Union Peacekeeping Forces court-martial.
It's like, Shamrock, go kill. I can't find him. I can find Shamrock. He points me in the right direction.
Now, as of today, he may be attached to the Ocean Air Force Base 440.
Anyway, so for this mission, we're taking the next plane on our list. The Shamrock is Taraz's. Nagini is Tivoldi. Sure, we'll go with that. Although I don't like the fact you're comparing me to a the worst Death Eater in the series, but okay. Anyway, the F-16C Fighting Falcon, or as non-Americans will call it, the Viper. It's made by General Dynamics, and its first flight was in 1974. It entered service with the United States Air Force in 1978. It is still serving with the United States Air Force, and the primary operators are the USAF, the Israeli Air Force, and so many NATO partners, I couldn't fit them all. The F-16 is a very popular export fighter. If we look at the base stats, it is got average speed. Couldn't or won it. Let's put it this way, Salty. There's over 25 nations outside the USAF and the Israelis that use the Falcon. Do you want me to spend all that time listing every single one? Or do you want me to get along with... Okay, to move on. Anyway. Yes! Of course. Anyway. We've got a below average mobility and stability stat, but it can be easily tuned to be average. We got an average air-to-air, slightly below average air-to-ground, and a below average defense. All in all, this is a very good stat block for a lower tier fighter. Perfect for a starter plane. It's a low-weight fighter developed to, among other things, support large lead air superiority fighters. Featuring the latest technology of its time, such as fly-by-wire, it boasts great dexterity and stability. Its nickname is the Fighting Falcon. It is armed with 70 AIM-9C Sidewinders as its standard missiles. It's also armed with 24... wait, no. Let me check the parts. I might have increased them. Hold on. I did. It is armed with 16 base AIM-9 or AIM-120 AMRAAMs. Let me put that back on. It's also armed with 10 GBU-16 paveway guided penetrating bombs and 22... No, wait, no. Not 22, because I put that part back on. I am losing my mind. It is armed with 14 SASMs, and the model for that is the AIM-132 ASRAAM. Let me put that part back on, because the Falcon needs it. The skins we have, we've got your standard boring Osea, which is the standard air superiority for the USAF. We've got the Erusia camo. I think this is actually the USAF uses this as an aggressor paint scheme. It either that, the Israelis might use it. I'm not entirely sure. We've got the SP Doritos. We've got the cannon trigger skins. We've got Mage or Clown skin. Rest in peace. We got Murica Fuck Yeah, the Patriot. Silber from Ace Combat Zero. And the one we're going to be taking, Murica. Yes, salutes for Brad Venable. He missed. And then PJ, or the Crow Team, also from Zero. We're going to be taking Crow Team because we already took Silber. Silber or bust. We already took Silber with the Phantom.
It's time to get busy, convicts. Proceed with your mission now.
And PJ doesn't get enough love. And Clown. Clown or bust. Well, I already took out Crow, so oh well.
Follow orders, Trigger. Taxi to the runway now. Check your
I like the valet
from the runway.
tailcode.
Control, would you kindly send me up first? Spare A, Champ.
The only love PJ gets is a laser blowing him up.
Cleared for takeoff. Obey orders. Go to hell. All aircraft preparing for takeoff. Watch out for spare 80.
Poor Johnny Young Bosch. He's always getting killed by Yuri Lowenthal.
That'll get decided in the skies. Touche. Trigger, your call sign is spare 15. Consider it your prisoner number.
But no, the F-16 was designed.
Spare 15, the runway's free. You have permission
PJ
to
does,
take off. Go now.
especially now that his wife. He never was married.
Toss the chump in solitary.
He was gonna get married, but he died first.
Anyone want to bet on it?
Spare 15, takeoff confirmed. Altitude restriction lifted.
He always mixed those two up.
So, no missiles again. The FCS is locked.
But no, the F-16 was designed as a smaller, lighter duty air-to-air dogfighter. Basically meant to fill the gap needed in an area that doesn't need an Eagle. But you still need something, so you use this. It's small, efficient, low cost, but it can also do a lot of things that it wasn't initially designed for, which is why a lot of smaller air forces love it. And the Air Force still continues to use it because it is a very effective, smaller, lighter duty aircraft. You put it in a place where it's like, say, an air base in Kansas. We don't need to have Eagles patrolling Kansas, but we'll have Fighting Falcons stationed there, typically flown by the Air National Guard. Because we don't need Eagles. And the Falcon fills that niche very well. In fact, it's done very well in that niche.
Spare squadron, listen up. Shoot down everything carrying bombs. Weapons free. You're clear.
Yeah, there was an argument on the wiki about people were arguing about the Falcon's multi-role capabilities and how it was a horrible multi-role. It's like, well, duh, it's a fighter. It just has the capabilities of going against anti-ground if need to, but wasn't designed to do it.
Head to the next target. Radar ping. Incoming hostile group detected. Take care of them. Righto. A bomber's at high altitude. Stop watching your own asses and look up.
Allow me to educate you. In this unit, you get your tail marked with scratches. The more scratches, the more heinous they are. They're called SID lines.
Well, if the MiG-31 was attacker, it'd be a horrible attacker.
Harlan's murderer.
It's too fast. Attackers usually want to be a lot slower so they can hover around the... They can have more time on target.
Bandit on my tail. We're cut off. We can't break away. We can't. We lost all of them. Where the hell are we?
Alright. We'll go and leave the last bomber until we get the escorts taken care of.
Tabloid, take 6.
Nope.
I'm on his rear. Enemy sighted.
Boom!
I'm surrounded.
Wow, look at Trigger go. Lucky shot.
Count's just jealous.
Breaking off.
Focus on destroying the target.
He is a princess after all. All hail Princess Count!
The friendly has been shot down. This is Gold 3. I'm hit.
No, I really like the look of the F-16.
Oh yeah. Let's do this.
Sparing, watch your mouth.
Here.
This is Gold 3. Evading incoming missile.
No, yeah, as a pure interceptor, the Foxhound does its job very well. I can't complain about that. I can't complain about how every strain drill rate nation wants to use it for something else.
At least he's decent at what he's famous for. I wouldn't go that far. Targets that slow aren't a challenge. Don't let it go to your head, murderer.
This doesn't bode well. My playback is slow as shit.
Inbound.
They got bombers and support.
All aircraft follow me. You too, murderer. Gee, now he thinks he's squadron leader.
Which means my laptop is either slow or the stream health is bad. Are you guys experiencing any stuttering or lag on your end?
Money riding on your survival. Some guys have got big money riding on you going down, so watch your back.
Spare 7, shut up. You don't need a yap to pull the trigger.
Alright. So it's just my laptop being shitty. If that's the case, I can handle that.
Dropping now. We won't make it to the target.
Got a small stutter.
We're on fire. We're going now.
Don't get excited. It's beginner's luck.
Nothing too bad. Okay.
Nothing wrong with our guns.
Bet he
So I'm not going to be too worried about it then.
This is a pretty nice ride. It's been serviced pretty good. Can't believe A-18 was scrap. Just what kind of magic does she have up her sleeves anyway? I don't know what her problem is. Acting like she's royalty or something. That's because she's the scrap queen.
Queen? More like a bad-tempered tomboy.
Trigger got most of them. Maybe even all of them. That was tough luck, tabloid. Spare 15, don't take all the fun away from your...
Well, if things get bad, let me know.
The targets are still active. Keep up the attack. What the hell are you doing? Are you... Wilco, Man and McKenzie, please maintain silence for the moment.
Also, hail hydrate. I didn't see that. You know, when Bandog says Commander McKenzie, I honestly heard Madam McKenzie, and it made me laugh.
Spare 15, what the hell are you doing? Attack!
Yep.
Chew on lead, pal!
Well, the two of them are like a married couple. But who would want to be married to Mick Dixie?
Left. Take him down now. First come, first served.
Alright, just one bomber left. More enough time to take out the escorts. Didn't say it was a willing marriage. Okay, there goes the flanker. Oh, you bastard! Get back here!
The last escort is
Alright,
the bombers are
one more bomber.
Looks like we get to go home early today, gentlemen.
I love this job. Trigger does all the work. Even our noble count is no match for Harling's murderer.
Almost out of special weaponry. All targets confirmed eliminated.
Bye-bye!
Yeah. Still alive, Harling's murderer? Then dinner's on me tonight.
Cut the chatter, spare.
Fine, I want a steak.
Mission complete. RTB. Trigger's still with us. Must have the devil in his corner.
Yeah.
Seven. What happens
The
when you
F-16, great, small, lightweight, air-to-air fighter.
Not done.
just check?
Perfect for a starter.
Spare 15.
Oh yeah, we have to land the thing.
Make your landing check. We don't want a wreck blocking the runway. Spare 15. You have permission to land. Wind conditions are calm. 3,000 meters.
Autocorrect can die.
1,500 meters. Too fast. Lower your airspeed. You're past the guidance limit. Make a visual landing.
I'm always past the guidance limit. Because I land how I want.
Stand by for your next sortie.
I lost a lot of money for that trigger. Don't forget.
Oh, I won't. Park in front. I've done that before, actually.
You have permission to take off.
Alright, so for the next aircraft, we're going back to the DLC missions. The F-17. Sure, the F-17. Uh-huh. This time we're going to do Anchorhead Raid. And the aircraft that we're going to be taking will be the A-18F Super Hornet. The Super Hornet was built by McDonnell Douglas. Not the bees. Not the bees! The Super Hornet was made by McDonnell Douglas, although it is now manufactured by Boeing after the buyout. Its first flight was 1995, and it entered service with the United States Navy in 1999. It is still serving as pretty much the sole aircraft, or it was the sole aircraft that the United States Navy operated from about 2006 to 2020. The operators for the Super Hornet are the United States Navy and the Royal Australian Air Force. I know the Canadians have a variant of the Hornet, but it's not the F-18F, so it doesn't count. The Super Hornet stats: it has above average speed, slightly below average mobility and stability. Those can both be tuned higher. It has average air-to-air and slightly below average air-to-ground, with about average defense. But what that doesn't tell you is just the sheer versatility of the weapons that it has. A versatile carrier-based fighter capable of providing support for aircraft, ground forces, and ships. With better maneuverability at medium speeds than high-speed fighters, it is effective in air raids. Nicknamed the Super Hornet, the craft is an improved F-type. It is armed with 98 AIM-9C Sidewinder standard missiles, 10 AIM-9X Sidewinder QAMs, 16 AGM-84 harpoons, and it has 22 shots of the electromagnetic launcher, or the EML, a railgun that uses electromagnetism to fire bullets at high speeds. Bullets, it should actually be shells, causing devastating damage. As it is unguided, its accuracy depends upon the pilot. So, between these three weapons, it's firing bullets are small. Basically, the largest bullet is a 50 caliber. Usually, anything above that is classified as a cannon shell. I can guarantee you that the EML shell is larger than 50 caliber. So it would be more accurately described as a shell than a bullet. Yeah, with this lineup of weapons, the Hornet is the most versatile mid-tier aircraft in the game. Because you've got something that can take out pretty much any aircraft. You got a ship killer, and then just to top it off, you've got a railgun. So, yeah, we're gonna start off with the harpoons, and the skins that the Hornet has. It's actually got quite a few of them. We've got the Boring Osea. Electromagnetic Miniature Stonehenge for the win. Unfortunately, I couldn't find a canon name for the EML pod. You could debate that. Probably could. I'm just going based off of where it is in the tree. Got the Erusia, which is, I think, a Navy aggressor livery. You've got the SP. I love the digital camo for this one. You've got the trigger ones, full band, which only use this if you want to die. VFA 103 Jolly Rogers. Groon. And then the one that we're going to be using, VMFA 232 Red Devils. The former Glowy Boy, exactly. Low mid-tier be more... Fair enough, it's still mid-tier. And then the emblem we're going with is the USAF. Look how they massacred my boy.
Strider Squadron, proceed to runway. Sortie ASAP.
But for the most part, the Hornet is one of my go-to aircraft for playing Anchorhead because it's so versatile.
I can almost touch the water.
Altitude restriction lifted. Begin
Okay,
up.
let's go. There's the Aegis Ashore. Boom.
Pick whatever dish you like before the host mounts a resistance.
Wilco, I'll eat their hearts out.
Whoa, Trigger, don't you dare get the juicy stuff before I do. Nice, Trigger.
Yeah, the Wyvern is a great aircraft for this one, and I may or may not be using the Wyvern, or using Anchorhead Raid on the Wyvern showcase.
This is gonna be a walk in the park. It's a good warm-up to get back.
But before I mean, I prefer the QAM to the EML for the Mimic fight, but yeah,
Lieutenant General Shepard, Operation
I just really don't like Mimic at all.
Resistance from enemy air defense is confirmed. Keep on dining. Just don't pay for it.
Righto.
Yeah, the Wyvern does very well here, but it's not the Wyvern's turn.
No, the online ships are a pain. If only we had anti-ship missiles by the truckload.
They're trying to destroy the entire fleet with anti-ship missiles. Sir, our ships are operational. Rescue operations are on. This is definitely the work of three strikes. They'd reject my report if it weren't for respect. Well then, let's make them pay with the ones they left behind.
I don't know.
Like 1,000 enemies against the four of us?
Who said I wasn't going to use it anyway? I did mention that I was practicing. Fuck! That was a bad angle. That was a horrible angle.
I can almost touch the water.
Practicing with the EML, Salty. You know what I meant.
The food at this party served buffet style.
And what I was trying to do is I was trying to blow up the containers before they launched their UAVs.
Hearts out.
Welcome, Floofy. You died.
Nice, Trigger. No enemy movement yet.
Gobble up all the high-value targets. Forget about your manners.
All right, where's my artisanal burgers?
I was blind firing the harpoons. Yes.
It's a good warm-up to get back in the game.
AA defense system was destroyed before it was activated. This'll make things easier later.
Lieutenant General Clemens, not three strikes. You sure we'll get a positive result this time?
Yes, Lieutenant General Shepard. Operation Dominoes is going as planned.
Yep. I mean, if it works, it works.
It's rockets down there.
Resistance from enemy air defense is confirmed. Keep on dining. Just don't pay for it.
Righto.
Begin firing SAM.
Flying ships are a pain. If only we had anti-ship missiles by the truckload.
We do have anti-ship missiles by the truckload. It's called 3 return lines. Alright. Let's... There we go. Nope, not enough. At least too late. There we go. I don't care if I took some damage from that. It's gone.
Get on the return line if you need to. Missile away. Watch your chaff and flare supply.
Enemy fleet up ahead.
With this size fleet, we're headed for Bonte. OCO would have a tough fight.
Well, looks like it's gonna be the 3 of us. Ready, counting trigger?
You betcha. Not a single ship's gonna leave the port.
Damn it. Alright, we're gonna reload. Repair.
Strider 1.
I really wish, though, that this is a carrier plane. If you use a Navy aircraft, you should have a carrier. I mean, I understand story-wise, OC doesn't have carriers, but I miss that aspect.
Want a piece of me? You got it.
There's Aegis.
Anti-ship missile launched.
There's the other Aegis.
Missile away. Aegis vessel Thalassa has been destroyed. The enemy's AA capabilities should be greatly reduced.
We're keeping minimal personnel on board for damage control. Negative. All personnel abandon ship. Like this.
Lieutenant General Shepard, we have a status report. 50% of the enemy forces have been neutralized.
At least for the ocean return line, it should have been a carrier, but I'm not sure when Osea's carriers would have been able to make it from the mainland. Because I know early in the war, all the carriers stationed in Usea were gone. Sunk. So I don't know when they would have been able to get replacements, but I really wish they would have been able to get have more carrier landings and takeoffs. I'm not sure what that base is supposed to be. That'd be a question for Sly. I'm familiar with Anian geography, not Usean. Alright. We got all the ships. Yeah, the return line base. Well, Anchorhead is in an inlet, if I recall. So there is land on the far side. If you go due east of Anchorhead, you'll eventually hit land again. It's whatever FOB they set up for a long day. Ameria's in A6, every return line airbase, it does change from mission to mission, so I do appreciate that. But especially for given the fact that 9 times out of 10, the mission you're in for A6 will have a forward or a frontline airbase you can land on, so you don't even need the return line.
We can't see your white flags from up here, you know.
MiG-31's approaching. They're fast. These guys are interceptors. Bearing 310, altitude 2000.
Well, I mean, it's not game breaking in any case, but it is kind of a little bit like I kind of wish they would have thought of it, but with everything else that this game had,
Large numbers, 8 Su-37s.
it's understandable.
Warfighters incoming at super low altitude for bearing 015. Cover reports at 3 strikes since sundown. We have no further intel. Sorry, we couldn't detect the port.
Roger that. Leave it at Ask Squadron, EO Squadron, clear to engage. 3 strikes.
30% of observed enemy
7.8 out of 10. Too much long day.
Keep it up.
We ain't done eating yet. Ain't that right, Trigger?
Only bonus time. Don't waste it. Returning to base. I've heard about you. Always have aircraft problems with some strikes around it. No joke. I have lost control. Good. Reduced enough of the enemy forces. Job well done.
That prime rib and truffle soup, sure, we're good. But hold on, lunchtime's not over yet. Go grab some desserts.
I knew you'd say that.
This is Tucker 04 requesting airstrike. Sending coordinates. Lost contact with second platoon. If they're gone, that means we have less than half our forces in the enemy missile.
Bye bye. You don't get to leave. No leaving the pizza parties. How dare you leave? You're a horrible guest.
Came in for a picnic, found ourselves in a marathon. I thought you said this was gonna be a walk in the park?
You take walks to, well, walk. But a picnic, you have to eat.
You don't have to tell me.
You know, the A7 version of the Hornet is the best Hornet in all of Ace Combat,
Vessel metas and battleship dysnomia numbering among them.
in my opinion.
After all that,
Let's do this.
Reach the CIC. Multiple outposts from the port.
Alright, let's go
Could've been caught there.
Prepare for anti-aircraft.
switch to anti-ship missiles.
Reach the target. Captain, we're starting the guided artillery fire drill. Command to the officer. What do you think would turn a drill into a real war? Strider 1, this is Control Tower. Make your landing. Strider 1, this is Control Tower.
AC5's Hornet was good, but this one is better because it has air-to-air special weapons, as well as anti-ship weapons. I would say that AC5's Hornet is second best, along with Zero's.
Target acquired. Strider 1, anti-ship.
6's Hornet sucks.
Performing well above our expectations.
I'm just gonna come out and say it. I was not a fan of A6's Hornet.
Target destroyed. Lock your shipyard in the Mighty Inferno! Fire! Trigger, missile inbound! Locked on bandit.
Gotta get some range, gotta get some range, gotta get some range.
Additional UAVs on radar.
Pretty shabby for a reinforcement.
stay sharp. There's something amiss.
Trigger just sank a battleship.
Battleship dysnomia is critical. Navigation is disabled. Target is heavily armored. How could that be? Take cover, they're getting contact!
Bye bye!
Warning, incoming high-speed projectile.
Projectile?
It's the terminal guidance. Get away from that UAV. What do you mean?
Contact imminent.
Salvation.
Impact at the UAV's coordinates.
Shit, I'm hit.
What? What happened?
More on the way.
What in the world?
You alright?
Fire incoming. Distance 50,000.
I know, Nugget, but I prefer to have my special weapons on the same plane rather than having to switch planes to get the special weapon I want.
Strider 1, this is Control Tower. Make your landing check.
Not entirely sure why they went with that gimmick for Ace 5,
Strider 1, this is Control Tower. The runway...
but I'm glad it was only on Ace 5.
Trigger, you hanging in there? Secure it.
Projectile is well, Michelle. We're currently determining the launch site.
They're shooting from beyond the horizon. That's why they need the UAV for terminal guidance.
We'll data link the predicted explosion radius from now on.
Damn it. You're telling me to leave my teammates behind?
Head back. I want that 100% survival rate.
Roger that. I'm pulling out.
We got the rest covered.
I'm counting on you.
All hostile ships in the vicinity have been destroyed. Taking on this much naval power is an astonishing feat.
Missile in the air!
Missile away. Strider 1.
Bye-bye.
Destroyed.
Yeah.
Strider 1, watch your tail.
God, I love Taurus's laugh. He's so hilarious. Taurus is the best villain in Ace Combat. I don't care what you guys say.
That's easy for you to say.
Although, you'd probably agree with me.
Strider 1, bandit destroyed.
1 million lives gone. Picture it.
He's so deliciously evil.
Tucker 04 to Longcaster. We need you to attack this designated heli.
Enemy shell detected. 10 seconds to contact.
Okay.
Exploded. It's off the grid.
There we go.
All SU-37s have been destroyed.
Those guys were well trained. Would have been tough if we let them hound us.
Imagine. I've got you.
Strider 1, Box 2.
Bye-bye.
Target confirmed down. Captain Alonso Terrigogon. Aegis vessel Colossus won't be much of a threat.
Supply. Enemy has a lock on you.
Alright. We're getting to the 3-minute mark.
Firing. Don't worry about hitting the building.
Detecting shell in flight. 10 seconds to contact. Missile launched. Maintain course if you want to go back to resupply.
Target confirmed down. Strider 1, this is control tower.
Okay, we'll go ahead and switch to the railgun.
Strider 1, this is
So,
in 10 years.
in preparation for the boss.
Squadron Tom Von Lee will be in charge of the Erusian Navy. Well, would have been actually.
Yeah, I was thinking that too, with the return line being
Target shot down.
the ocean one. It took me a little bit to realize, oh wait, no, there is land on the other side.
Locked on bandit. Missile closing. Break!
Projectile exploded. It's gone. 2 minutes remaining.
I never heard that line before.
Strider 1, locked on target. Fox 2.
Bandit, shut down.
Target is hit. Radar contacts. Additional hostile aircraft detected. Projectile detected. 10 seconds to contact. The shell exploded. It's off the grid.
Enemy on your 6.
Chapter flares are low.
Thanks. I knew you had my back, Trigger.
1 minute remaining.
Not in this part, not usually. And when I do, I normally don't hit. I am bad with railgun. You don't, do you? Torres sounds so disappointed that the command duty officer doesn't
Reinforcements on radar.
see it. You don't see it, do you?
Well done. We managed to hit the Erusian Navy's fleet and command structure pretty hard.
That was definitely a free lunch if there ever was one.
Mission complete. Return to base. Withdraw from the operation airspace. You completed the mission, but it's not done until you return home.
Arrogant bastard.
Stand by. Warning. 2 bogies inbound. Bearing 090. SU-47s.
Lanza! Missile! Behind you!
Damn it. Alright, we'll go ahead and reload.
That's those damn bats.
Engage to let Strider 3 escape. We're calling off the withdrawal.
Both of you, watch out for their missiles. The missile alert didn't go off in time. Hit me as soon as I heard it.
It may be that the enemy's missiles have stealth capabilities. Their missiles may hit you immediately after the
Ow.
missile alert goes off.
So that's the trick.
Calling out to unidentified aircraft. Cease combat immediately and withdraw.
What the?
Brigadier General Clemens is radioing enemy aircraft on Ocean channels.
Too late. Trigger's already started.
I repeat, withdraw.
Don't want anyone thinking we screwed up. 3 strikes is going down. They're responding.
Yeah. Yeah. Come on. Come on.
Siblings can go to hell together.
Brother and sister?
Enemy 3 strikes.
Good, you're on their 6. It's 2 on 2, Trigger. We can't lose.
Sorry, Wuss, but you killed it. 2 on 1.
Who are you calling a wuss?
Bye-bye.
You did it, Trigger.
Idiot, stay focused. Take down 3 strikes.
I gotta get rid of this drone here.
Only one left. We're all down together. With the death blow be for you, Trigger.
There may only be one left. Don't let your guard down.
Gotcha. Alright, come on. Come on.
No need to feel sorry about it, Trigger.
Oh, I don't feel sorry about killing her. Trust me. That's not the issue.
Way to go, Trigger.
Your wish is my command. Bitch. So yeah. I'd like to call that a perfect showcase for the Hornet. Used all of its weapons. Also, the Hornet is the first American aircraft in the lineup that can do this. Because of practice, I didn't miss. I went for the times when they were PSMing.
The bat's blip has disappeared from our radar. At that altitude, it likely has crashed.
But I still ended up getting hit about half the time.
Serves them right.
Yes. The problem has been eliminated.
Meet us at the drop-off point. 3 strikes has removed all Strangler Erusian forces. That did make for a good sideshow.
And yes, I am doing this on normal difficulty. Because normal is average, and I'm showing off the aircraft, not my skills.
I can almost touch the water.
Oh. I don't know. I just... Anyway, so that was the Hornet. Now we're going back to non-DLC missions.
Hey, chill.
Stand down. Sit.
Shit, my cola.
The fleet at
Farewell, Cola.
and we prevented the submarine from
You shall be missed.
the unidentified.
S rank, not bad. Not the cola. Drink purple. Alright, we're gonna go back to normal free mission because the next aircraft is all about 1v1 dogfighting. I mean, it can do multi-locks, but it doesn't do it as well in this game as it does others. But we're doing Lost Kingdom, and my favorite aircraft that isn't a superplane to do Lost Kingdom in is the next one on our list. The F-22A Raptor. The F-22A Raptor is manufactured by Lockheed Martin. Its first flight was in 1997. It entered service with the United States Air Force with 2005. It is still serving as the USAF's premier air supremacy fighter. The only operator that is legally allowed to fly the Raptor is the United States Air Force. There is a congressional law that says that that Lockheed Martin is forbidden to export the Raptor. So it is illegal to export it. If we look at the stats, the speed is above average. Mobility is very high, as well as stability. Air to air, very high. Air to ground, slightly below average. And defense is above average. A stealth aircraft developed as part of the Advanced Tactical Fighter program. For the sake of stealth, the aircraft carries its weapons internally, but can also carry external weapons box. Its nickname is Raptor. It is armed with 136 AIM-9C Sidewinders. Hello, Phoenix. You made it just in time for the second half. Its secondary weapon, or its special weapons, is armed with 18 AIM-9X Sidewinder QAMs, 48 Advanced Small Diameter Bombs, XSDBs, homing bombs that can lock on to up to 4 targets simultaneously. They have a higher carrying capacity than anti-surface missiles and are more focused. The model for this is the American GBU-39. And finally, the 8AAM. The model for it is the ubiquitous AIM-120 AMRAAM. But for this fight, we are going with the AIM-9X. That's right, Star Crater. Cam spam. For skins, we've got the Boring Osea. I do not have this skin unlocked yet. That's probably going to be a future stream down the line. But what it looks like on the wiki is basically the Estevakian livery for the Raptor, if you remember that from A6. Then the special skin, the Tempest. This one almost looks like a JASDF livery if the JASDF ever got the Raptor. But that's just what it looks like to me. Then we've got the boring triggers. Well, not entirely boring because the tail's always nice, but livery itself is kind of meh. Then we've got the original, the OG, the Phoenix. from air combat. Then we've got the Griffiths from Aurelia. But we're going to be using the one that I associate most with the Raptor in Ace Combat, Mobius 1. Now granted, the Mobius skin here is a little off because those exhaust nozzles should be gold. But this, when I think of Raptors, this is the one that I picture when it comes to Ace Combat. So we're going to take the Mobius and engage. And the mission is kill Mihai.
No Osean forces are in the region ahead. No allies here. No need to ID your target. We've set a number of priority targets, focusing on their anti-aircraft weaponry. Okay, team, get to work.
Unidentified aircraft, not sure if friend or foe. Fire anyway. We don't have time to be wondering if they're friendlies or not.
I still picture ISAF as NATO and OSEA as the United States. But I'm a Marian, so what the hell do I know? Yeah, Ruja had... You can't go by planes. Because... I mean, Slovakia is culturally based off of Slavic Eastern Europe. Their plane selections, aside from the Su-33 and the Su-47 and the CFA, is straight out of NATO. So I tend to go by what culture I can get from it. Culturally speaking, at least in my interpretation, Uja represents pretty much Europe. And ISAF represents NATO. Culturally speaking, in my opinion. Or at least is inspired by. Aruja has a lot of French influences. In my opinion, and meanwhile, Osea has a lot of American influence. Like, a ton. But it is up to everyone's individual interpretations. If you interpret Yuja having more American influence and inspiration, I can't say you're wrong. Because each strange real nation is meant to pick, or it's meant to be familiar enough, but different enough that you can't pin it down. United States of Eurasia. I think that's what it was in Ace 3, but by Ace 4, I think that interpretation kind of went by the wayside. Now, I think that interpretation of Usia was resurrected in Infinity, because most of it was in Eurasia. But, you know. See, I never got Aruja as Russia. When I first played Ace 4, I actually got more of a fascist Italy feel to the Erusians, believe it or not. Not sure why, but maybe it was because of like sand salvation or something. I know it's wrong, Nicola. It has much more of a French influence. But when I first played Ace 4, that's what I got out of it. After I did some digging, I learned my interpretation was off. So don't worry. And that was just the Ace 4 version. Ace 7's Arusia is clearly French. At least that's how it feels to me. Oh yeah, Yuktobanya is the Soviet Union. Definitely.
Strider 1, target eliminated.
No, we gotta fire!
Strider 1, Fox 2.
Yeah, Soviet Union.
Hostiles. All aircraft confirmed.
If anything, if any country feels more Russia, I'd have to say it'd be Slovakia. But I feel them as more Warsaw Pact, Eastern Europe than Russia. Yeah, I could tolerate Yuktobanya, because the shit that the Soviet Union pulled, holy shit. Holy Roman Empire. I could see a Holy Roman Empire for Arusia. That's not a bad interpretation there. I can see that. That's what I love about Strange Real Nations. There's so many different interpretations that you can see and pull.
This is the OCM long-range strategic strike group.
You can't pin any one Strange Real Nation to a 100% comparison to a real-life nation. I'm pretty sure there's no China analog, and I don't think there ever will. There's too much bad blood between Japan and China.
Enemy on your back.
Warning, enemy has a beat on you.
These guys are pretty accomplished fighter pilots.
But, see, Aurelia kind of reminds me of the British Falkland Islands. And Laysath being Argentina. I mean, the whole Aurelia-Laysath War, I feel, was inspired by the Falklands War in the 1980s. But I could be wrong.
Let us work together. Back up trigger. Wilco.
We can't even last long enough to buy ourselves some time.
Yeah, that's another reason why why Project Aces probably won't have a China analog. It's because anything to do with China, you're walking on eggshells. So it might just be easier for them to say, yeah, no, we're just not even bothering.
Bearing 090.
Aurelia lays south to North and South Korea. I could see that. Yeah, that's one possible interpretation. Alright, let's reload.
High-speed projectile launch from enemy aircraft.
I'm testing this aircraft. You will find your
It's not the first time one's gone up against a wyvern.
Don't waste your life. Dedicated to reclaiming that which you call home. Furthermore,
Which strange real country could be associated with Japan? That I have no idea. No, I don't know how to do that entry, and I won't, simply because of DMSA, or DMCA. I don't want to get and have to worry about DMCA issues, so I'm just not even going to try streaming music. Yeah, the aircraft I'm fighting's name is the Strike Wyvern.
Minimizes the damage even when he's hit. Keep firing those missiles until you blow him to pieces.
I know. It's not an actual dragon.
Why do you feel the need to continue fighting on your own?
That's funny. It seems like one of the pilots is also fighting along.
He's not alone. Look around you.
Although, speaking of aircraft named after dragons, I'd love to see like a fictional aircraft stealth fighter named after or named the Night Fury.
It's like the sky's been sliced wide open. The experimental unit bubble beam is still been destroyed.
Someone to guide us. Right now, can't think of anyone other than you. Conrad, get closer. Leave together with me, I taught me something. Drone fighters don't move. They have no place to go.
If anything, I think Osea it
Should be fighting against.
has might be like a combo America-Japan.
This aircraft is my
Because they have a defense force, just like Japan does. And
There are pilots like you in every generation,
um,
and I've found every
some of the terminology that Oceans use is a little off for the United States, but would fit more appropriately in Japan.
Aircraft is going down.
He got him.
Yeah.
Trigger is splashed abandoned.
Yeah, it's a defense force. I think it's more accurate naming in Ace 5, especially toward the beginning. But by the time of A7, no, this is a defense force in name only.
put a stop to the drone production.
Is this a message to Trigger? What does it mean?
I don't think this war is over just because we
But
shut
yeah,
down
the
this
size and scope and tactics of the Ocean military in A7 are straight out of American textbooks. I mean, but a lot of their terminology feels more Japanese. So, if we're gonna have to pick a possible strange reel version of Japan, I'd say the closest you'll get is
Fly went well.
Osea with a Japan-America combo. Like if Japan and the United States united. Your carriers for a defense force. Osea has more carriers than that. Alright. Yeah, kind of like Ace Attorney. That's a good... Sly. Ace Attorney is Osea. That's why the justice system is so crazy. Can we make that canon? All right. Moving on with the next next aircraft. We're going all the way to Long Day. We have 2 aircraft left. Phoenix Wright attended Alred Law School. Guilty and prove it until proven innocent. By your defense attorney. What? How?
First, I want you to head from the base to the desert region.
Defense attorney, we want you to basically do everything. Prosecutor does nothing. Except blows holes in your case. Hold it! Alright, so... the penultimate aircraft for this part of the showcase is the F-35 F-35C Lightning, the Navy edition. This is another aircraft by Lockheed Martin. It was part of the Joint Strike Fighter program. Its first flight for the C model was 2006. And the C model first entered service for the United States Navy in 2019. It is still serving. It is expected to start to phase out the Hornet because the Navy is stupid and doesn't have dedicated specialized fighters anymore. But that's just my opinion. And the sole operator of the F-35C is the United States Navy. Now, the A and B models is where you start to have international operators, but the Charlie model is strictly United States Navy. If we look at the stats, the speed is slightly above average. Its mobility is also slightly above average, base-wise. You can tune it to be a lot better. And stability is just a hit better than its mobility. Air-to-air is above average. Air-to-ground is average. And its defense is just above average. Multi-role aircraft stealth capabilities. The C model is a carrier-based aircraft used by the Navy. Developed in the Joint Strike Fighter program, it can take on the role of various craft and is capable of more than just aerial combat. Its nickname is the Lightning II. Why doesn't the USA sell the C model to the UK? Because the UK wanted the B model for its carriers. Royal Navy carriers are smaller in size than US Navy carriers. The Charlie model is not capable of VTOL. The Bravo model is. And that's what the United Kingdom or the Royal Navy wanted. So the Royal Navy got Bs or Bravos. Yeah, the Charlie model is specifically built for a catapult launching system. So yeah, and the only Navy aside from the United States that has carriers with catapult launchers is the Russians, and they are sure as hell not getting the Lightning. So yeah, the Lightning is armed with 124 AIM-9C Sidewinders for its standard missiles. It's armed with 24 AIM-154 Joint Strike Weapon, or JSW, SODs. The SOD is a standoff dispenser. It's a long-range homing glide bomb that detonates over the locked targets, releasing smaller bomblets along its path. It's got 24 of those. It's got 44 AMRAAMs in the 4AAM variety. And it's got 48 AGMs, 8 target air-to-ground missiles. Air-to-surface missiles that can lock on to 8 scattered targets. More than one can lock onto a single target for resistive damage. Just be careful because these, like the 8AAM, tend to double lock. The only advantage on the 8AGM is typically ground targets are more clustered. So it's easier to get the full 8 with the 8AGM than the 8AAM. The model for this one is the Spear 3. We're going to go ahead and take these for long day, but we're also going to be switching out to the 4AMs later on. The skins that we have You've got the standard Osea black, which is I think what the Navy uses. We've got the desert. We've got the special, which is, oh my god, what the fuck is this? Got pastel blue, or pastel aqua, black, and royal blue tails. It's like a kindergartner painted this thing. And then we've got the trigger skins. There are no DLC special skins for this one. We're going to take the desert one. And our emblem will be the low-vis AAF, Aurelia skin, or emblem. Just because I think it looks good with the whole desert thing.
Aircraft preparations complete. Stand by at the front.
Yeah, Long Day is one of the best. I really like this mission for showing off
Spread out and attack. We're clear to attack, right?
anti-ground
Forces are gonna clean things
aircraft, because they can also go off up against.
Sharp as attack, aren't you, Sperry? Regular
Canonically, Trigger should fly the F-35C because the Raptor belongs to Mummies 1. Also, kindergartner painted it. You tried your best. That's funny, Floofy.
transport truck spotted. Not a threat, but feel free to take them out.
Leave them to me. Burlington Week is a kind of special.
You're hitting 3 locations. Some have air power.
Honestly, if
Think of the best way to
I mean, yeah, I could see the lightning. We've never had a protagonist use the lightning canonically before. But given how most Ocean squadrons use some form of the Eagle, I'd actually say the Charlie or Strike Eagle would be a better choice for Trigger's canonical plane. And in large part, one of the canonical planes for Trigger is the Charlie Eagle.
I'm out. Returning to resupply. How are we supposed to work without ammo? I'm heading back. Nice try.
It can help you learn about color theory a little bit, at least enough to get up to the 4th grade.
Us aren't allowed to resupply. But in your heart, you want us to smash that base. Why
All blackjacks are dead. No gambling here. If I can't gamble, you can't gamble.
Scratch one hostile. That was fast. Keep up the good work.
Rhino. Damn, the fire set off a chain reaction. At least stop it while it's running. Target confirmed destroyed. Under again.
I'm really flying a snowflake in the desert with the skin emblem comp. Yep. It's the diamond in the rough.
Fox 2.
Now, the Lightning is the final American-made aircraft that can PSM in this game. The Raptor can do it, the Hornet can do it, and the Lightning can do it. Those are the only non-Russian planes
You're giving me another shot?
that aren't fictional that can do it.
This is divided into 3 sections.
Can't gamble.
Destroy just one of them.
Hyrule should have known better. Why do you think he doesn't make it back?
Trigger's the one who did most of the work. Why are you so proud of that, full band?
YF-23 cannot PSM.
Target gun range. Fire. A gun down. Spare 15 target.
It doesn't have any thrust vectoring capabilities, and
The vehicle's
So it can't do the full Colbit. I'm not sure why it can't do a Cobra, though. Because the Lightning can do a Cobra. So much hate for the Black Widow. Well, the Black Widow lost to the Raptor.
ABC destroyed.
Yeah, the Raptor is genuinely better than the Black Widow. As much as I like Northrop, Lockheed made the better aircraft.
They're late to the party. This is Spare 11. Enemy base dead ahead. Damn it, we can't do this from the sky. We need ground troops.
Spare 11, just do your job.
Just give us a bomb big enough to blow the area.
Trigger destroyed the enemy
It
facility
can
while everyone else was sleeping.
it can be useful, especially to either get on someone's tail or get or get someone off your tail. But it's definitely not a maneuver that you need to perform that often. And it will put a lot of stress on your aircraft, so you don't want to do it that often. But I'd rather be in an aircraft that can do it and never has to than... And I mean in real life. I knew what you're talking about. But I'd rather be in an aircraft that has the capability of doing something and never needing to do it than be in an aircraft that can't do something and need to be able to do that, if that makes any sense.
Target destroyed. Locked.
The anti-air guns are hit hard. Our air defense facilities are compromised. Just grab whatever you can and return fire. Enemy got away. One hostile is doing most of the damage. Focus on him.
One hostile's doing the most of the damage. I love it when there's little dialogue lines like that that acknowledge just how badass you are. It's one of the reasons why I love the Ace Combat series. Bye bye.
Hold up. Let's make a bet. Whoever guesses the next strategy wins. You can get in on this too, Vandog.
You guys need to cool your heads off in solitary.
Let me look into this doctrine thing. Bribe is all you need to look into a turbo. It's amazing how many people like the password on note by their desk. Gathering intel is all.
Alright, we got no more spears.
Deliver tasks you're given. Confirmed kill on AA gun.
They will steal your ship kills in Anchorhead Raid. I know that.
I've got something for you. Nothing but trouble this mission, I'm afraid.
Bye bye, kitty.
A fair amount of work to their ground units, but I see some of you still have ammo. Continue with the attack. Keep yourself nice and exposed till I say otherwise.
You really are good at murdering people, Trigger. Too easy for someone who's used to killing presidents.
I didn't kill
So, what's the difference?
a president. I didn't kill an ex-president.
Fox 2.
What, Trigger gonna say a drone did it? Well, a drone did it. Yeah, bye bye, kitty. Now I feel bad.
Vehicle down.
Oh well, let's take out my sadness on the Erusians.
Bearing 28.
That always seems to work. Okay, the drones are here. We're gonna switch to the AMRAAMs.
They're drones.
These must be the infamous drones.
They can dogfight without pilots?
Machines are not replacing humans.
Calm down. They're just obstacles in your way.
Yeah, if the what?
Original mission.
If the Black Widow had thrust vectoring, I think it would have been a lot much more of a contender, but the Raptor is just the better aircraft.
Storm he was sending us into? Pure units are just pawns.
That lion son of a bitch. Don't pretend like you deserve any better. Continue with the operation.
It's got a more versatile weapons base, separate weapons bay for its sidewinders. Better mobility and stability. Am I going that way? No, the Black Widow was made. It was the last fighter that Northrop made before the merger with Grumman.
Spare 7. Shit! Someone get this enemy off my tail! I can't. I've got my hands full too.
I roll a missile. Shake it off.
God damn it, I'm hit!
But yeah, Grumman the last major contribution Grumman made was the F-14. So, and I always was a fan of Grumman.
Spare 15.
Spare 15, you are cleared for takeoff. Get your ass in gear.
You look right there, you can see the tailhook cover. They even have a little internal bay for the tailhook to keep stealth.
Hey, someone's down. Who is it? It's High Roller. He's been taken out.
Don't miss your hands over one aircraft being down.
Excuse me.
What happens to a bet when the banker's out?
Boy, you moron.
Another man down. There's no point. Retreat.
Follow your orders. Continue the operation. Deserters will be punished.
I'm hit. I'm hit. My aircraft.
This isn't even a fight. You want to lose all your pilots?
Shut up.
Try and stop me. I'm getting behind Trigger. Stick with the best if you want to survive. If anyone wants to die, let him. Poor decision on your part. I've still got top score. Count? Man, you're useless.
Count, man, you're useless. Even Tabloid knows you're useless, Count.
That's 3. Wow, Trigger's the only one who's managed to get the piece.
Yawn us, fine, we'll yawn.
Good job, Trigger. That's 5. I've shut down 6.
Bullshit. You're still
I'm sorry, I can't help it.
Guys working right.
engage or face punishment.
Keep yapping away, Luke.
I'm tired.
You'll pay for this.
Looks like we're the only ones having fun out here. Trigger, the one with the highest score.
And Count's voice puts me to sleep.
Best once and for all. 7 down. That's more than an ace. If only I could bring a radio to lift my spirits.
As you can see, the Lightning is more than capable of holding its own in a dogfight. But it's not as good as, say, the Raptor or the Eagle is. It was primarily built as a as a strike fighter. Instead of a dogfighter. Do I need to blow up these trucks? No. Do I want to blow up these trucks? Yes.
Trees destroyed all the trucks.
Oh, Griffin's left. Well, I gotta take care of that now.
It's the mission and the ones who stayed that are crazy.
It's okay, full band. We understand you're a coward.
Enemy base is crippled. That's enough. Go find some enemies that can kill you.
And with that, we have one more
You've hit the enemy base enough.
lid.
Operation is complete. Head back. The bastards who flew off are going to wish they were never born.
We have one more aircraft to go.
Damn right. I wouldn't be surprised if we're thrown in solitary too. Hey, who wants to bet who goes into solitary? That's what that gambling nutjob would say if he was still here.
Where's your sense of humor, guys? Your buddy's making a joke. Laugh already.
Alrighty. For our final mission, we're going to head to two-pronged strategy. But first, I'm going to play a 30-second ad because I need to use the little pilot's room. So I will be right back with you. Also, thanks for the follow, Andrew. It doesn't show up on my screen very often. Alright, I am back. See you later, Star Crater. Thanks for dropping by. Alright, so for this final mission and final aircraft, we are going with the YF-23 Black Widow. Developed by the Northrop Corporation, this prototype's first flight was 1990. It never entered service because it lost the competition to the F-22. Although back in 1990 in the competition, it was going up against the YF-22, which is slightly different than the full production model. The sole operators of this were the USAF, the United States Air Force, but this was Northrop's last attempt at making a fighter. Northrop Grumman is still in the game, but they are largely in missile tech and bomber tech. In fact, the B-2 Spirit is Northrop Grumman. But the YF-22 or YF-23 has above average speed, average stability and mobility, above average air-to-air, below average air-to-ground, and slightly above average defense. A large stealth fighter and finalist in the Advanced Tactical Fighter competition. Its advanced speed and stealth capabilities make it ideal for preemptive strikes. One nickname for the prototype was Black Widow. The other was Grey Ghost. There were actually two YF-23s. A gray air superiority painted one, the Grey Ghost, and the black one, Black Widow. It's armed with 124 AIM-9C Sidewinders as standard missiles. It's also armed with the hypervelocity air-to-air missile, 30 of them. And the model for it is the AIM-7 Sparrow, which is odd given that the Sparrow is a semi-active missile and the hypervelocity is a fire and forget, an active radar guidance. But I don't know if the United States has an actual hypervelocity missile. But given the range that the HVA is, it would make sense for the Sparrow to be the model. So, Sparrow. It's also armed with the 4 AMs. We got the Gold Old Reliable AMRAMs here, AIM-120s. And then for the unguided bomb, there's 34 of those, and this is the Mark 84. But for this, we're going to take the Sparrows because it's all about the range in this game. As for liveries, we have the standard Osea Grey Ghost livery. The Aruja has the Black Widow livery. The special one and the SP skin. Not sure exactly where this came from, but tiger stripes. Then there's the Trigger livery. And finally, the special livery, the Wizard. And that's the one we're going to be taking. And apparently, Wizard was based in Hierarch. Interesting. Alright, everyone, are we ready to do some wild and dirty, dirty things? Military wasn't ready for the YF-23. That's a line from this mission, Gun Mage.
Refueling initiated. Maintain your current position.
That's fine.
100.
And if you do it fast enough, you might not end up hearing it.
Excellent work, Trigger.
Mage Squadron, this is the situation. Gollum and the other bases squadrons already joined forces and are engaged. You guys will arrive
Yeah,
and follow the action.
both the Sidewinders and special weapons
All bandits in the current
are
airspace
located in this bay.
have the upper hand, but that doesn't mean we can ease up. Good luck.
Mage 1, Wilco. Mage 1 to Gollum 1, thank your lucky stars. Looking good, Mage Squadron. Keep up that pressure. Trigger, time to show the other guys that we can wet wild and do dirty, dirty things.
I love that line.
Don't let them out of your sights, even in the clouds.
Do
So, your first
get wet wild and do dirty, dirty things. Between chapped asses and doing dirty, dirty things, I wonder what the hell happened in Strange Real. They found the internet. And we all know what the internet is for.
4 remaining.
They got me.
3 remaining.
Senator cleared. Lock on. Eject.
Doo-doo.
We need reinforcements now.
nice kill.
1 remaining.
Suck.
Missile did not connect.
The internet is used for purely informational purposes, isn't it? No, it's the electronic cat database. The internet is for cat videos.
We're in the clear.
I haven't even broken a sweat.
Take that as you will.
Missile incoming. Evade. Break. Break.
Caution, missile!
Stay alert.
Nudge, nudge, wink, wink. Know what I mean? Know what I mean? Say no more. Alright. Did we spawn the ace?
We just learned that Eruzia is utilizing
No, we didn't.
Arsenalberg. Those bastards. They had that thing combat ready this whole time.
Enemy has a radar lock. Break, now!
Just waiting for
Ow, you suck.
We'll live through this, Trigger.
It's an innuendo, Nicola. It's an English-specific innuendo.
all aircraft. No change in game plan. Destroy the Arsenalberg.
And I am not gonna explain it on an Ace Combat stream, so, because I want to keep my channel.
Roger everything
If you want to know, DM me after the stream and Discord and I'll explain it there.
Damn. Skeleton 1 lost. Skeleton 2, take over command.
Gargoyle Squadron, this is Gargoyle.
Yeah, on the Discord.
Squadron detail. The hell are we supposed to
Oh, but first, how old are you?
Column 2, missile, evade!
Evading!
Are you over 18? If you are, then everything's cool. If not, then, no, we're not going to explain it. Ask your friend. 22? Okay, yeah, fine.
Shit, Golem 2, do you copy?
This is Golem.
We're all good.
Instruments still appear to be
Yeah, ask me after on Discord after the, thing. After the stream, and I will explain the innuendo.
Skeleton 3's lost.
coming? What's the plan?
Where's that report?
Continue to maintain air superiority.
Or at least why it's funny in English
Skykeeper, I repeat, maintain air superiority. How'd that happen?
instead of Italian.
What the hell? Caution. All aircraft, stay alert.
Get out of there.
Anyway, killing drones.
I'm breaking off.
Skeleton 2 lost.
We got incoming.
Skeleton Squadron is down. We've had too many losses. All squadrons, command has
Yeah.
withdrawal. Leave the operation.
Come on, come on, come on. I wish I could PSM here.
Save your chatter for the debriefing.
There we go.
Golem and Mage Squadron, give our allies some time to escape.
We'll go, but Column 2 is hit. Gotta send her back. Let's get dirty, Trigger.
Shoot down those UAVs. Don't let them touch any friendlies.
Column 2, head back to base.
Gargoyle 1,
Boom.
escort Golem 2.
continuing the mission. Still got my wings. Trigger doesn't need to fill in for me. I'm back and I...
You won't make any difference up here. Get back to base and cool your head.
Copy that. Returning home.
Mage 2, UAV down. Mage 2, missile away.
All right. Get back here.
Retreating aircraft. Leave the AO. Allies will hold off pursuit. Golem Squadron, Mage Squadron.
Fuck you, 101s.
That a boy, Mage 2. Just keep firing.
Lock acquired.
Mage Squadron, you're going toe-to-toe with the UAVs. Good work.
Mage 2, enemy has a lock on you.
Fox 2, Fox 2.
More UAVs spotted. Gargoyle Squadron,
Yeah.
might cut off your retreat.
This is where we lost.
See, your wizard leader was Bristow, right?
This is Gargoyle 1. Leading Operation Airspace with Column 2.
And sorcerer was
Bogey. Gargoyle 1, Golem 2,
Anthony,
engage now. Attack.
if I remember. Yeah, okay.
One bandit. Distance 30.
Gargoyle 1. Caution! Missile!
Sometimes I get them confused because their emblems look very similar.
Gargoyle 1 lost.
What the hell? Golem 2, status report.
I also like how Mage's emblem is a callback to Palmer, Anthony Palmer. That's right. But I like how
I can't shake it off.
Mage's emblem is a callback to Wizard and
Fighting and run.
Sorcerer.
I'm dead meat. I don't get it. Why isn't it opening fire? I'm scared.
This is not good. Brody, break off.
Mage 2, UAV down. Good up, buddy.
Portrait aircraft. Who would take it next time?
You'll have a good job, Mage 2. We want as many guys out here as possible.
I'm breaking
No, Megamine.
Column 2, lost.
Shit. Skykeeper, where's the one that got brownie?
Afraid he's long gone by now.
Sorry.
Missed.
Boom.
All UAVs have been splashed.
I said what I had to say. About what? Not a girl who'd retreat. Just not in her DNA.
Yeah, this was the last American aircraft in A7.
Fledgling like her out of my reach to begin with.
Golem Squadron,
And as such, that brings this stream to a close. So for... Oh yeah, we have to land. It's not over till the wheels touch ground. But tomorrow, Piper Shepard heads to the Citadel to recruit the Master Thief Kusumi Goto, as well as to farm renegade points by yelling at merchants for discounts. Then Monday, we exact revenge, or Carolina exacts revenge on the boss of the Bitter Black Isle.
Mage Squadron, this is the situation.
In Dragon's Dogma. Tuesday, we finish liberating the Izuhara province of Tsushima and begin a legendary tale of the Gohatsu armor. Wednesday, Raz and Floof take the fight to Hyperion and Jack.
Unfortunately, the two-front offensive was
Thursday,
the aircraft carrier Kestrel 2
um,
sunk during the attack on Farbanti.
Phoenix comes out of retirement to fight the Lighthouse War. And boy, is he cranky.
Countries against us. Our own forces
And then
also suffered losses.
next week,
If it weren't for a few extraordinary fighters, many of us
we continue the showcase with part 3. And the first half of the Russian aircraft. So, the MiG-21, 29, 31, and the both Su-30s and the 33. But that will be all. I don't know if I have anybody that I can stream. Or, not stream, raid. I speak words good. Let's see, we've got... So, yeah. I don't really got anybody, so I will catch you all later. Have a great weekend, everybody. And take care.